Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. In this video, I'll explain you the basics of Bluetooth and we will also complete the wiring connection between the Arduino and the Bluetooth. So, Bluetooth is a wireless technology standard used for exchanging data over short distances. It uses shortwave ultra high frequency radio waves which have a frequency band from 2.4 GHz to 2.485 GHz. Bluetooth is used to send data over fixed or mobile devices. Bluetooth technology is invented by telecom vendor Ericsson in 1994. The Bluetooth module inside your smartphone are very small as they are connected to very tiny but complex circuitry inside your smartphone. But the Bluetooth module that I am using is the HC05 Bluetooth module and it looks like this. The HC05 module is a master and slave module as we can use it either as a master or as a slave. By default, the HC05 module is factory reset to act as a slave. And in this course, we will basically use it as a slave. The HC05 module consists of 5 or 6 pins. The HC05 Bluetooth module which I have consists of 6 pins and these pins are RX that is receiver, TX that is transmitter, VCC, ground, state and EN. The pins labeled as state and enable provide additional functionalities. Now, we won't be connecting these pins to the Arduino. The labeling on the Bluetooth module may change depending upon the company that is manufacturing it. Similar to HC05 module, there are two other modules called as HC04 and HC06 modules. The HC04 and the HC06 Bluetooth module consist of only 4 pins and they can be used only as a slave. The 4 pins on these modules are RX that is receiver, TX that is transmitter, VCC and ground. The HC04, HC05 and the HC06 Bluetooth module can be powered by the 3.3 volt pin or the 5 volt pins of the Arduino. So guys, after explaining you the basics of Bluetooth, let's connect the Bluetooth device to the Arduino. I am using an HC05 module for this course. You can choose between the HC04, HC05 and the HC06 Bluetooth module. Now moving on to the connection, I'll connect the RX pin from the Bluetooth to the TX pin of the Arduino, that is pin number 1 of the Arduino. I'll connect the TX pin from the Bluetooth to the RX pin of the Arduino, that is pin number 0. I'll connect the ground pin from the Bluetooth to the ground pin of the Arduino. Next, I'll connect 5 volt pin from the Bluetooth to the 3.3 volt pin of the Arduino. Now guys, in some Bluetooth devices, the 5 volt pin is also labeled as VCC. Now, to power on the Bluetooth, I'll connect the Arduino to my PC through the USB. Now guys, as you can see, the Bluetooth is switched on and you can see on my Bluetooth, that is the HC05 Bluetooth, there is a red LED which is blinking continuously. Since this red LED is blinking very fast, this basically means that this Bluetooth is not paired and this Bluetooth module is in discoverable mode. After this, I'll pair my smartphone with this Bluetooth. So I'll first switch on my Bluetooth. Next, I'll open the Bluetooth settings from my smartphone and I will search for this Bluetooth device. So guys, as you can see, after I search this Bluetooth device, I have this Bluetooth by the name of HC05. So I'll click on the HC05 option. Next, to pair the Bluetooth, the password is 1234. So I'll type 1234 over here. I'll press OK. Now you can see this HC05 Bluetooth module is showing in the paired devices and you will also notice one change. If you look at the HC05 module very carefully, then this module is blinking very slowly. Now since this HC05 module is blinking very slowly, that basically means this module is paired with my smartphone's Bluetooth. So guys, this red LED basically acts as an indicator LED. And once you see the HC05 Bluetooth module in the paired devices, then that basically means the Bluetooth is paired to your smartphone. You have to do this pairing process only once. Now guys, if you're using an HC04 or an HC06 module, then you have to do the same connection. So guys, after explaining you the basics of Bluetooth and after finishing the wiring connection, next let's start controlling the devices using the Bluetooth. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. In this video, I'll explain you how wireless communication takes place between the smartphone Bluetooth and the Bluetooth which is attached to your Arduino, that is the HC05 Bluetooth. So as you can see, on the left side I have a smartphone and on the right side I have a Bluetooth which is connected to the Arduino, and to the Arduino I have also connected one LED. Now since this Arduino is connected to the Bluetooth, we can say that this Arduino can now receive data from the smartphone as it consists of a Bluetooth of its own. If I run an Android application inside this Android smartphone, and as you can see, this Android app consists of two buttons, on and off. So basically when you press the on button, the LED should be switched on, and when you press the off button, the LED should be switched off. But before pressing these buttons, let me explain you one more thing. Since I have connected the Bluetooth to the Arduino, this time serial communication will take place between the Bluetooth and the Arduino. Okay, because if you look over here, the Bluetooth consists of a transmitter and a receiver pin, and the Arduino also consists of the transmitter and receiver pin. The transmitter pin of the Bluetooth is connected to the receiver of the Arduino. The receiver pin of the Bluetooth is connected to the transmitter of the Arduino. So the Bluetooth and the Arduino can serially communicate with each other as the transmitter and receiver pins of both of them are connected to each other. So now let's move back to our Android application. Now if I press the on button from the Android smartphone, the Android smartphone will send the data from its Bluetooth to the HC05 Bluetooth. Now after the Bluetooth receives this data, it will send this data to the Arduino from its transmitter pin. And once the Arduino receives this data, it will process it and it will switch on the LED. Next, if suppose you press the off button, then the smartphone's Bluetooth will again send this data to the HC05 Bluetooth. The HC05 Bluetooth will then transfer this data serially to the Arduino, and the Arduino will now switch off the LED. And guys, this is the main principle of how electronic devices can be controlled wirelessly using a smartphone. That is, you need to fit a Bluetooth to your Arduino, and then this Bluetooth will communicate with the Bluetooth of your smartphone. So guys, I hope from this video you would have understood how wireless communication takes place between the smartphone's Bluetooth and the HC05 Bluetooth. From this video you also learned how serial communication takes place between the Bluetooth and the Arduino. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. This is Dinesh here. And in the next couple of videos, we will create an Android app called as Smart LED. And for the Smart LED application, we will also write an Arduino program which will run inside our Arduino. So guys, in this video, we will just create the design for our Android app. Now, as you can see, I've already gone ahead and created a new application called as Smart LED. If you want to create a new app, you have to click on Project, Start New Project, and then give your project a name. I have given the name of Smart LED. You can give any name you want. If you keep it Smart LED, that's well and better. Now before adding components in the screen, I'll make some minor modifications in the screen. So as you can see, I've selected the screen over here. I'll change the align horizontal first to center. After that, next I'll change the sizing to responsive. Okay. The advantage of using responsive screen is that the application that we create will be responsive on different screen sizes. Next, I'll change the screen orientation to portrait. After that, I'll just make the title visible to false, and I'll also make the show status bar to false. That is, I'll uncheck both of them. Now, after making the minor changes in the screen one, next, the first component that I'll add is a list picker. Now, list picker is actually the component using which we can select the proper HC05 Bluetooth that is connected to our Arduino. That is, when you click on this list picker option, it will show you a list of all the Bluetooth devices that are available in the network. So I'll select this list picker and I'll make some minor changes inside it. So first I'll change the text of the list picker to connect. Next, I'll change the text color to white. Okay, now the white color is not looking that good on gray. So I'll change the background color to green. I'll make the font bold. I'll change the font size to 20. And at the last, I'll change the width to 80%. Okay, so when I change this to 80%, the list picker will occupy 80% of the screen width. So I'll change this to 80, and the last thing that I'll do is instead of keeping the shape in a rectangular format, I'll just change the shape to rounded. Okay, so the edges, as you can see, are basically rounded over here. Next, I'll add a horizontal layout. Now this horizontal layout I'm adding just for spacing between the connect list picker and a button, which I'll be adding next. So I'll select the horizontal layout, and next I'll change the height of this to 12%. After this, I'll again go in user interface and I'll add a button over here. Now the next thing that I'll do is I'll change the component names of the list picker and the button one. So for the list picker, I'll give this a name of connect list picker. Next, for the button, I'll change its component name to on button. Now after this, I'll add one more layout. Okay, and I'll change the height of it again to 12%. And next I'll add one more button. And as you guys would have guessed, this will be the off button. Okay, I'll click OK over here. After this, I'll put. Now, before I put any of the thing, now if you guys have a question like why I'm not changing the text of the buttons to on and off, then that is because instead of having a normal text of on and off, I'll be adding some images. So that's why I'm not changing the text of these two buttons. So as I was saying, I'll go in layout again. I'll put a horizontal layout. I'll again change the height of it to 12, and at the last I'll put a disconnect button. I'll change the width of it. I'll change the width to not pixel. I'll change it to 80%. Now since this will be a disconnect button, I'll change the background color to red. I'll make the font bold. I'll make this 20. Next, the most important thing, I'll change the text to disconnect. And at the last, since this black color is not looking that good on the red background, so I'll change the text color to white. Now guys, the next thing that I'll do is for this on and off button, okay, there is one more thing remaining. I forgot to rename this button to disconnect. Okay, so I'll just leave the name to disconnect. So my last button is disconnect. Now, as I was saying, I need to give a background image to this on and off button. So to give a background image, the first thing that I'll do is I'll select this button. After that, I'll go in images. Now I have actually kept two images on my desktop for the on and off button. So next I'll click on upload button. I'll click on choose file. You can see there are two images for on and off button. So first, since I've selected the on button, I'll select the on button image. Okay, then I'll click on OK. After that, I'll again click on OK. So as you can see, since the resolution of this image is just too big, the image is actually going out of the screen. So that's not a problem because I'll make some minor modifications inside the width and height of this button. So I'll go in the height. So I'll first go in the height and I'll change the height of this image button to 20%. Okay, after that I'll change the width of this to 70%, and let's check whether it's working fine or not. So I guess a height of 20% and a width of 70% is looking great over here. Next, I'll select this button and you can see I'm still getting this text of text for button 1. So I'll go here in the text and I'll remove this text. After that, next I'll do the same for the off button. So I'll select the off button. I'll go in images. I'll go to upload file, choose file. And this time I'll choose the off button. I'll click OK. And for the off button also, I'll change the height to 20 and I'll change the width to 70%. Okay, and at the last, I'll remove this text over here. Now, as you can see, this disconnect button is going outside. So what I'll do is I'll just change the horizontal arrangement a little bit. So I'll change this to 10%. I'll change this also to 10%. Okay, so now it's in the frame. Next, as you can see, the horizontal arrangement button is actually rectangular in shape. So I'll also change the shape of it. Oops, sorry, it's not the font type. I need to choose for the shape. Okay, so I'll also make the shape rectangular. Sorry, I'll also change the shape to rounded over here. So I'm basically finished with the app design. Now there is one final change that I have to make. Okay, now when you run this app inside your smartphone, so during that time, the connect list picker will be fit exactly to the top of the screen, and this disconnect button will be lying somewhere in the middle of the screen. Okay, so to make our app look a little more interactive, what I'll do is I'll click on screen 1 and I'll change the align vertical to center. So when you open your app for the first time, all these components will basically appear in the center of the screen. So guys, I basically finished with the design of the smart LED application. The links for the on and off button images are mentioned in the description. So please feel free to use these images if you want inside your app. So guys, that's it from this video. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next video. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. In the previous video, we designed the user interface for a smart LED application. And in this video, we will do the graphical programming for our application. Now, as you all know, for doing or for joining the graphical blocks, we have to go in the block section. But before I move to the block section, there is one more component that I need to add. And that component is the Bluetooth component. So I'll go in connectivity and then I'll select this option which says Bluetooth client. And I'll just drag it on the screen. Now, the Bluetooth client is a non-visible component because this component is not visible on the screen, but it runs in the background. So after adding the Bluetooth, next I'll go in the block section. Now, once I'm in the block section, first I'll use the blocks to pair both the Bluetooths. That is, I will use the connect list picker and the Bluetooth client 1 block to pair my smartphone's Bluetooth with the HC05 Bluetooth. So first I'll click on connect list picker, and from the connect list picker, the first block that I'll choose is connect list picker before picking. Okay, now this block will execute before you pick any option from the list. That is when you click on this connect list picker option, a list will appear in front of you, and before you pick any items from the list, what we have to do is we have to show the list of all the available Bluetooth devices. So to show the list of all the available devices, I'll go in connect list picker again, and then I'll choose this green block. Now in this green block, as I mentioned before, the left side or the left drop down just shows you the similar components. That is, since this is a connect list picker, if we had multiple list pickers, then those list pickers would have been shown over here. And the right drop down basically shows you the properties of this component. Now, from the connect list picker, I need to choose a property. Okay, I think it's already there. Like, I had to choose this property called as elements. Okay, so I'll put it here. I'll now go in Bluetooth client 1, and then I'll choose this option which says Bluetooth client's address and name. Now, if I read out this entire graphical code, then this basically means before you choose any option from the list picker will show you the elements, and the elements that are shown by the list picker are the Bluetooth client's addresses and name. That is, when you search for available Bluetooths in your network, these Bluetooths will be shown in the list first. Now, once I've finished with the before picking block, next I'll again go in list picker, and this time I'll choose a block which says after picking. Now, the after picking block will be executed after you select any option from the list. So I'll again go in the list picker and I'll choose one block which says, I'll again drag this green block, and this time I'll choose a property which says selection, as we are going to select an option from the list. Okay, and once you select that option, I'll then go in Bluetooth client and I'll choose an option which says connect. So whichever Bluetooth option you select from the list, I basically want to connect with the Bluetooth, and in place of this address, I'll go in connect list picker again. I'll drag this block, and then from the properties, I'll choose the property which says selection. So after you select any option from the list, and once your Android app figures out which Bluetooth option is selected, it will basically connect your smartphone's Bluetooth with the selected Bluetooth from the list. Now, once I've finished with the before picking and the after picking block, next I'll click on the on button and I'll choose the first block which says when on button dot click. So before I add any block to this on button, let me explain you the logic using which our application will work. Now, when you click on the on button, we will use our smartphone's Bluetooth to send one data from the smartphone to the HC05. Okay, and this data has to be unique across both the Bluetooth. That is, when you click on the on button, we will try to send some numbers. For example, if you click on the on button, I'll send a number called as 1. And in the Arduino, we have to write the code to decode that number 1. So when the on button is clicked, I'll go in Bluetooth client again, and this time I'll choose for an option which says send 1 byte of number. Okay, so this will basically send, so this block will basically send 1 byte of number, and when the on button is clicked, I'll send a number 1. So for that, I'll go in maths. I'll select the top block. Okay, now this block represents numbers, and I'll replace the 0 from 1. So when the on button is clicked, the number that I'm sending through the Bluetooth is 1. Similarly, I'll do the same for the off button. So I'll click on the off button. I'll put it here. I'll again go in Bluetooth client. I'll again click on send 1 byte number, and this time when the off button is clicked, the number that I'll send is 2. Okay. Now, once I'm finished with the on and off button, the last thing that is remaining is the disconnect button. So I'll click on the disconnect button. When disconnect dot clicked, I'll go in Bluetooth client, and then I'll select this option which says called Bluetooth client dot disconnect. So guys, I basically finished with the programming for the smart LED app. So guys, please make sure to verify your program once, and after you have verified your program, next to run and install this app inside your smartphone, you'll click on build, and next you'll click on provide QR code for APK. And as I told you, you can also click on build and select the second option to download the APK file inside your computer. Now guys, as you can see, I basically opened my phone screen on my laptop system, and next from my smartphone, I'll open the QR code app. Now after opening the QR code, I'll just scan this application. After scanning, I'll click on open, and next I'll choose the option select with Chrome. So the App Inventor 2 file is getting downloaded. So guys, as you can see, the App Inventor 2 file is downloaded in my system, that is in my smartphone. Next I'll open the app, and then I'll click on install. Now let us check how this application looks. Okay, so the application is basically installed in my system, and after it's installed, I'll click on open. And guys, as you can see, this is how the application is looking in my smartphone. I'm using a OnePlus X smartphone, so this is not an image that you're seeing from an emulator, but this is the actual image from my smartphone. And if I click on any of the buttons, okay, you can see currently it's showing Bluetooth not connected, but you can figure out the clicks on the button over here. So thank you guys for watching this video, and in the next video we will finish our Arduino programming. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. In the previous video we finished designing and coding our Android application, and in this video we will do the Arduino programming. So first, when the user clicks on the on and off button, I want the LED at pin number 13 to be controlled. So in the void setup, I'll declare pin number 13 as output. So for that, I'll write pin mode 13, output. Now next I'll write the code for serial communication. So the code is serial.begin 9600. But this time the serial communication will take place between the Bluetooth and the Arduino, as the HC05 Bluetooth will receive the data from your smartphone's Bluetooth, and next the HC05 Bluetooth will send the data to your Arduino. And since our Bluetooth will not give us a text notification back, okay, that is Bluetooth connected or Bluetooth paired, there is no need to write another command which says serial.println Bluetooth connection is established, okay, because as I told you before, when the Bluetooth connection is established, the small LED on the Bluetooth will blink at a very slower rate, or it will remain constant depending on the type of Bluetooth. Now after establishing Bluetooth connection, next inside the void loop I'll write if serial, I just forgot an I over here, if serial dot available. Now this time, so as I was saying, now this time when we use the available function, so the available function will now keep on checking whether any data is coming from the Bluetooth to the Arduino. And once any data has been received by the Arduino from the Bluetooth, since the data that we will receive is in the form of an integer, so I'll take an integer variable, I'll give it a name of z, and I'll set it serial.read. In short, we are basically reading that integer data. And after we have read the integer data, next I'll use an if loop again to check whether the number that is coming is 1 or 2. Because if you remember, and if I show you the code again, you can see over here, when the user clicks on the on button, the number 1 is sent. And when the number 1 is sent, that is when the on button is clicked, so I'll write over here if z equal to 1, okay. So when the on button is clicked, the number 1 will be sent, and when this happens, I'll make the LED go high. So I'll write digital write 13, high, okay. And after this, and when the off button is pressed, you can see the number that we are sending is 2. So over here I'll again take an if loop. So if z equal to 2, then I'll copy this command and I'll make the LED low if the user clicks on the off button. So guys, I basically finished with the Arduino programming for the smart LED. Next I'll click on compile to check for any errors. Okay, now over here I'll save the file first. I'll give this a name of smart LED. I'll hit save. Now as you can see, there are no errors in the code, and after compiling, next I'll click on upload to upload this program. So guys, I basically finished uploading the program. Next let's check the output.